Hey, what's up, good people? It's Jay Ray, the co host of Q Points, and I wanted to come to you because there are two really important ways that you can support our show. One is by subscribing to it wherever you listen to or watch your podcasts. Q Points is pretty much everywhere. The other thing that you can do is you can visit us on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, and on Podchaser, and you can leave us a star rating. Please rate us 5 stars because you know you love Q Points. And on Apple Podcasts and on Podchaser, you can actually leave us a written review. It's not required, but it really does help to spread the word about the show, and it helps people to discover it as they're looking for new podcasts to listen to. We're always appreciative of you supporting Q Points. We thank you so much for all that you've done for us so far, and enjoy the show.
Welcome back. It's another episode of Q Points, your favorite podcast. This is Q Points, a safe space for conversations, meaningful conversations about Black music and Black artistry. I am DJ Sir Daniel.
And my name is Jay Ray, sometimes known by my government as Johnny Ray Cornegay III. What's happening, people?
Listen, Jay Ray, first of all, how you doing?
I am amazing, man. You know, I have been preparing this week. You know, for those who are not in Philly, Q Points is going to be representing at Rec Philly's podcast symposium. So while we would normally be live, this is pre-recorded because at this moment that you are watching this, we are also at Rec Philly. So I'm excited that we get a chance to, you know, show up in Philly, Sir Daniel, and let the people know what Q Points is all about, and, you know, talk to some other people. So I'm good. How are you?
I am fantastic. I'm feeling fantastic. I'm still not able to return to work because I am still testing positive for COVID. And I would like to take this opportunity to let people know that if you are fortunate enough to work for an agency or a company that will do this for you, talk to your HR department about filing for short-term disability. You know, because up until this point, I was in the impression that I might have to actually pay for the fact that I cannot return back to work by using up my PTO. And I'm like, oh, this is too close to my birthday. I'm really not trying to run out of PTO before my birthday. But, you know, it is a thing. It's definitely a thing. There are places that won't allow you to return back to work until you test negative. Because, you know, especially if you are in a high touch, high face-to-face workplace, you know, it makes sense. You don't want to, or by any chance, even if you're not contagious, by any chance, pass it on to your coworkers or people that come to your place of business. So it's just one of them things. It's slightly frustrating. I remember I texted you earlier this week. I was like, y'all, damn it, man, I tested positive again. It's no change. I'm still asymptomatic, you know, but it's still frustrating. I can't go back to work, and it's only, you know, it is what it is, but that's just something that I learned today, you know, about the short-term disability.
Yeah, I'm glad that that is available at your company. It's so funny. I've been out of corporate in HR for so long. I didn't even think about like short-term disability, but I'm so glad that they reached out to you and talked to you about that. And yeah, I'm so glad you're sharing that information for folks because we are still in the middle of the pandemic. Like people are still, Sir Daniel, still testing positive for COVID-19. And while he is not contagious, because it's been like, what, 10 days or so? It's
more than that, yeah.
More than that. But like you said, you can't return to work. I think we have to do something about figuring out what people can do, because you're in a fortunate position of being
Right.
able to work for the company that you work for, and there are folks out there that just don't do that, and folks out there that don't follow the rules either. Like, you know what I'm saying? Your
Eh,
company is like, okay, we get this, like, here's what we can do. But there's other people probably that work for folks like, well, you just gonna have to find somewhere else to work. And no, I'm looking at you, employer, you cannot do that, that's illegal.
That's right. And you wonder why people won't disclose or why people won't get tested, because they're scared of the fact that they will have to disclose that they are in fact positive and could pass it on to other people. So it's just one of them things, and it's now this is like another phase of what people need to start talking about with regards to COVID-19, because more people are living with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, whereas in the beginning, unfortunately we lost a lot of people, but now more people are living with it, and it's becoming a long haul disability for some people, and some people it's not a disability, but it's keeping them from going to work. But to your point, we're not out of the woods by any means, because now we have
Monkeypox,
shock that
monkeypox.
monkey, shock them good, shock them good. I can't believe the CDC hasn't co-opted George Michael's monkey or some
Listen,
monkey song to start
listen.
marketing the monkeypox better.
I'm sure that George Michael's people and who is that? Peter Gabriel's people are like,
Peter
no.
Gabriel, no,
They're like,
no,
nah.
not at all. You will not incorporate our songs with this disease, that's taking people out. But I got to tell you, so J Ray, I know, hey y'all, we're going to get to the music, we're going to get to the
Yes.
topic of today's topic shortly, but we got to talk about the stuff that's going on in our lives as well. So here in Georgia, the DeKalb County Public Health Department announced that they were going to open up appointments for 200 in a city of that boasts of millions of people living, a population of millions. 200
200.
two whole hundred appointments for monkeypox vaccinations on their website at 9 a.m. yesterday morning at 9 a.m. So, of course, me being a responsible person that I am and wanting to take care of
Mm-hmm.
myself and, you know, take care of business and be in that number, I'm up early anyway. J Ray, I had my personal laptop, I had my work laptop, and my phone all on the DeKalb County Public Health website.
Did you get an appointment, Sir Daniel?
Absolutely not. Because when the clock struck 9 a.m., all of a sudden, like there was a bar that was grayed out saying this will only be available starting at 9 a.m.
Right.
So I'm hitting refresh on everything, just
Yes.
refreshing. Then next thing you know, on all laptops and my phone, the site crashes. Yes.
Dang.
Which, you know what? We knew that was coming. We
To
knew it
be
was going to
expected.
happen. It's to be expected. The site crashed. And then when it finally came back up, guess what? All the appointment slots have been filled.
Y'all, this ain't right. This is not right
In
at all.
2022, I mean,
200 for DeKalb County. The county.
with a million plus people living in it. Now, the real shade is, I'm not going to name names, but a friend of mine that does not live in the county, lives outside of the DeKalb County, was able to get an appointment. And I was like, who is your internet provider? Because I need to see something.
Right.
But we got the same internet provider, so I'm like, so it can't be that. So I'm just like, what is it? Something's fishy about that whole lottery thing of getting these appointments. It really feels like the Hunger Games. May the odds be forever in your favor.
We have to come up with a better process because, of course, this the same thing happened with COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Did we not learn from like COVID? It's so weird. Like we're literally doing the same thing that we did 2.5 years ago with COVID-19 with testing. Y'all, we have to challenge, especially our public health. Ask these questions. You have to go vote in November. It's time.
For
These are
sure.
questions. If there is elected officials that have anything to do in your local communities with the health department, you need to be asking these questions. How are they improving infrastructure? And how are they going to ensure that these systems, so that that doesn't happen to Sir Daniel? That doesn't make sense in a post-COVID America.
Right.
That websites are crashing because you know that the 2 million people that live in DeKalb, or however many, I don't know how many, don't quote me, but you know that 25% of them are going to hit the site at one time because they want a monkeypox vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
You should know that.
You should absolutely know that, but then it makes me think about all those people that don't have access to Wi-Fi, don't have access to internet. So what are they going to do?
Wow, what even are they going to do?
It just feels like a lot of times they're playing with our lives. We're like in this big petri dish, and let's see what happens when we only give. It's a control amount of people that have gotten the vaccine. Let's see what happens to everybody else. It's a big experiment at this point. I'm still going to get it when it becomes available,
right?
But I think they're just playing in our face at this point. So yes, DeKalb County, get it together. All the counties, because I imagine this is going on across all the counties in every state. I can only imagine what's going on in Pennsylvania right now with regards to that.
So I'm typing in the interwebs as we're on here, to see if, so we just reported, this was last week, our first. No, this ain't even here. So in my county where I live in Delaware County, I just said this earlier, so I have an email that's drafted that I got to send.
Mm-hmm.
We're not even for real talking about monkeypox. They are talking about it in Philadelphia County, and I know that folks are having some of the same challenges with getting appointments and da-da-da. I don't know how that's working there. But we're not even talking about it here. And I'm like, why not? Like, so this is a thing in post-COVID America. We are having a problem getting information out about a disease that is spread skin to skin. And I just read in Georgia that the first woman has been, they've diagnosed with monkeypox.
Yep. So it's not an STI, people.
It's not an STI.
It is not. It is skin to skin. Could be transferred through clothing, fabrics, all that stuff. But
handshakes, hugs.
All of that stuff. But you know what? They will not break my soul.
You will break my soul. I'm doing a lot of singing tonight. No. So Sir Daniel, I have a question. What are we going to... I want you to marinate on this because I'm getting a box. I gave Beyonce my money.
Yes.
And
have you gotten a tracking number?
I haven't gotten a tracking number. I'm expecting to get something. I don't know how this is going to work. Well, I will say this. When I have gotten drop shipped albums before, because I just got one, child, I didn't even know what the hell it was because I forgot I ordered it. It was so long ago. It just kind of showed up. So my shop on my phone, the shop app, it just binged me in the morning and said, you have a package that's out for delivery. So I didn't get anything until like the morning of, but it was already on my way to the house by that point.
Gotcha.
So I'm expecting the same thing. But I feel like I feel like Q Points and you need to be with me when I open it. Like, I need to know, I need y'all to feel what's in it. Because I don't know
Certainly.
what's going to be in it. It might
Oh,
just be
that's
an
nothing.
album.
We
So
just need to go ahead and like schedule a duo call and record it and just upload it for the folks because, ladies and gentlemen, it is Renaissance Eve.
it
It is
is.
Renaissance Eve. You know, Friday. I'm sure after the show has aired, you all will be up until way after midnight waiting for the album to drop, and we will have been ushered into a new era of Beyonce called the Renaissance. And people, J Ray, people are excited. They're a little too damn excited for my liking because the interwebs, as you like to call them, are flooded with leaks. And I am not a fan of leaks. The only leaks I like is Nene leaks, and that's it. I'm
Yes,
sick of them.
Nene, no music
no,
leaks.
no music leaks. It's quite honestly, I hate to sound like the old man in the club again, but we are of an era. We are from a generation where we had to wait. We had to the anticipation built up to a fever pitch until we could go out into the store on Tuesday mornings to go get a new release.
Yep.
But now, if y'all don't stop with these fake links and these fake leaks, it's ridiculous. How do you feel about it?
Don't like leaks, not a fan. I get being feverishly excited for a music release. Sir, to your point, Sir Daniel, we grew up in an era where it just felt like forever. We haven't even been waiting that long for this record. It's only been like a month. It's like it's
Yeah.
not a long time. Baby, rollouts would be like 4 months. 6 months. Like you would be
Tell them.
marinating on a single for like 6 months before you got like the record. So this is not that long. But I will say that in this current era that we're in, I really began to dislike leaks when it affected a record that I do feel like people should have heard.
Mm,
So Beyonce is different. Well, two points to make about Beyonce. The first thing is this isn't the first leak of a Beyonce album. She does not like it. The reason why Beyonce be running around just randomly dropping records on y'all was happy. Y'all needed to be happy. You gotta roll out this time because she just was like dropping records because she don't like leaks. It's not a thing that Bey likes. It's happened before. She don't like it. Okay. Two, when but Beyonce can weather the storm. That's the point I wanted to make. She is a big enough artist that she can weather the storm. You know, the album sales ain't even going to be the bread and butter here. She's probably going to hit the road, make a ton of money. It's going to be nuts. However, in 2006, Bilal was scheduled to release Love for Sale, which was his second album. Something to Hold On had already come out, and I was like, I like this because I wasn't like I was a huge fan of pieces of the first record, but I was like, it didn't hit me the way I thought it was going to hit for me. But the second record I was ready for. The problem was the fans were also ready, and the record leaked. Interscope was like, we not putting out this record that people done already like heard and have opinions on, and they weren't expecting to sell a lot of them at then, so they pulled the record. So to date, Love for Sale is still on the shelf. Now, I've heard the record. Cause child, it's still out in the world. You can hear it too. Just Google the record. You could hear it. It's in the world. And it's dope. And it holds up. And people should have heard that album. But the leaks ruined it. And at that moment, I understood both the power and the detriment of what the internet could do, because it literally killed that release.
Wow. And see, it's kind of like if your mom finds out that you've been sneaking peeks at the Christmas presents under the tree, and she says, "Well, you know what? You're not getting nothing," and just takes it away from you. Nobody gets Christmas this year.
Christmas is canceled.
Christmas is canceled. You ain't getting this Bilal album. To your point, this reminds me of this album over my head right now, the Notorious K.I.M. People were in such a fever pitch for a new Little Kim album that this was like LimeWire days. This is Napster days. Different leaks of different songs were showing up everywhere over the internet for the Notorious K.I.M. Finally, the album kept getting pushed back for various reasons. And then finally, people started making their own Notorious K.I.M. mixtapes.
Dang.
Like they making their own bootlegs with the cover, everything, the whole nine, because we had gotten so impatient with Super Tuesday and with the pushbacks. And now I will say in this respect, it was more so because the label kept pushing it back. Because I remember at that time I was working in a record store, and we were constantly having to erase the dates on our board and saying this is being pushed back, date to be determined, all of that stuff. And that for the listening audience, I can understand how that can be frustrating when you're looking at it from the artist standpoint. There's various things, various variables that are keeping an album pushed back. Sample clearances,
Yep.
Feature clearances, all types of things, songs not getting cleared that have to be yanked. Then the art direction is changing. This world event happens, so now we can't have this song on here about a particular event because it's going to offend people.
Yep.
Lots of different stuff can happen that will push your album back. But now in this digital age, folks ain't waiting. Folks don't care about that. Folks are entitled. They're entitled to their fave. They want complete access to their fave at all times, and they are willing to do whatever. And so, did you see, J. Ray? Did you see that in Paris, France, the album is already out?
No, I didn't see that. I haven't been paying attention to. I knew that the album leaked because that's been everywhere, but I haven't been like really paying attention to it just because I've been like busy today. So it's already out in Paris. Lord Jesus.
Like I see people with physical copies, which is refreshing.
Nice.
People are going out and buying physical copies of the album, but for whatever reason, but we know this about record labels in each country. They can do different things. That I'm not surprised about the album being released. Y'all save your money on a plane ticket. It's just 70. It's just 48 hours. You will be fine. It's less than 48 hours now. You will be fine. You will get your drop. You will get your link. iTunes will update. You will get all that stuff. It's fine. It's coming.
It's
You'll
coming.
Be okay.
Listen, Beyonce is a professional. Her team it's already laid out. You are going to get the thing that you paid for. It's not like a Kanye West album where he tells you it's coming and you wait that day and it's not coming. Beyonce ain't gonna do that. That ain't
No.
Up until now. First of all, the Parisians already got it. So Beyonce ain't gonna do that. You're gonna get your record when she said it was coming, and it's coming on Friday, the 29th. I am going to get the box, and we are going to shit. So tomorrow, and we are going to open. I'm going to share the opening of the box with you, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be wonderful. The world will continue to spin. The sun will rise. All of that stuff is going to happen. It's going to be a great Friday. So happy Renaissance Eve, everybody. Relax.
Now, you won't break a soul.
You won't. And you know what else I'm excited about for Friday, though? A new episode of Drink Champs is dropping.
Yeah.
Featuring none other than the godmother herself, Patti LaBelle.
Wow.
And when I'm not gonna lie, when I saw the trailer, I was like, "Is this for real?" Patty's on Drink Champs, because I was like, Patty, Drink Champs? The two just don't seem to go together, but it makes perfect sense.
It does. This is Patty gets it. Like her team gets it. Zuri gets it. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yep.
Zuri gets it.
Yep.
And I'm loving what Nori has been able to do with Drink Champs. The Drink Champs that we're experiencing in 2022 is not ever what I would have imagined 3 years ago.
Phew,
Right?
thank God. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, because it was a very different feeling kind of show. And what I love though, and it looks like his team and he figured out, like, oh, wait a minute. Yes, this was fun and we was having some drinks and we were having these conversations that would sometimes land and not land, but
Mhm.
people are coming back. That means we got something.
Yeah.
Let's do this right. Because when you get Patti LaBelle coming on your show, that's serious. Like if Patti LaBelle came up on Q Point's Miss LaBelle,
You wouldn't be able to knock me over with a feather. Like, no, you would be able to knock me over with a feather, because Patti LaBelle is just one of those generational. She transcends generations as an artist. We all love some Patti LaBelle. Like, the first LaBelle album came out, she started singing with the Bluebells way before we were even thought of. Our
yep.
parents were listening to Patti LaBelle at that time,
Mm-hmm.
but she's been able to be just ingrained into the fabric of our culture, that she has just garnered so much love and respect from all the generations. And I believe the reason why she's been able to do that is because she's not selfish with her love or her admiration for the people coming up under her.
Mm-hmm.
She's always been welcoming to the new artists, whether they're singers. She's embraced hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
She has embraced rappers. And so that's why, when you have a chance, after you listen to this show, please log on to the Q Points website and check out a blog that we just released, called Patti LaBelle, the unexpected hip hop icon.
Mm-hmm.
Patti LaBelle is hip hop, and we will tell you why in that blog post. But yes, I'm looking forward to this episode of Drink Champs, because she's spilling.
Listen,
Mama don't drink a whole lot. She don't smoke weed. She don't do any of that stuff. She said it, but she's spilling. She's pouring a lot
she
of
don't
tea.
smoke reefer. She said, I don't smoke reefer. First of all,
The reefer.
that is the 1960s things. My mom says that. She was like, oh, I smell reefer. I say,
The reefers. My God on today. But yes, I'm looking forward to it.
yeah, shout out to Patti LaBelle. And I'm so happy that we continue. One, she's still an amazing voice. And that we get a chance to keep loving on her for all that she has given. And like we said in the when we talked about when Miss Sarah Dash passed away,
Yes.
Patty and Nona and Sarah just were our pioneers.
Absolutely.
We talk about it in the blog post how, yo, you want to talk about people whose shoulders you standing on. Like, there are so many of these folks who are out there doing it today. And it's like, baby, you only doing that because them three women got up on that stage and wore these people out.
Yeah. And did it their way. Did it the way they wanted to. And not for nothing, Mama looks good.
Baby.
She is always pulled together. She has never slacked on that. Mama said, I'm going to give you hair. I'm going to do this mug, this face. You're going to get a cute outfit. And we're going to have a good time. Always Patti LaBelle. We live for it. We love to see it.
Yep. Listen, and not for nothing, I know we're going to get to our key topic, but one of the other things is she has not only been part of our musical lives, her roles when she would appear on TV.
Chipmunk.
Right.
Chipmunk.
You get an Out All Night. You get it's
A different world.
a different world. You get these moments where she transcended it. And it was like, oh my God, Patty is my auntie.
She is all of our aunties, and she does not back down from that title at all. She loves it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're in for a really good time, and we're the ones that are being blessed by this. So
Yes.
shout out to the Drink Champs team.
Yes.
Y'all did that.
Indeed.
You know what you did? You did that.
That.
All right. So here we go. We are getting into it. J. Ray, we I don't know, the relationship between, let's just start with the relationship between Black people and the police
Yes.
has always been a thing since we stepped foot into this country. So the fact that it's affecting our music is not a surprise at all.
No. The fact of the matter is, and historians have talked about this, the police exist because Black people exist. You know what I'm saying? And we
Black
needed
people were property.
Black people were property. And
Mhm.
that relationship has always been fraught. And in particular, when we think of hip hop, there has always been an undercurrent of applied criminality from the police and the criminal justice system on rap music as degenerate and as something that needs to be controlled and policed. Remember when we did show 1, Sir Daniel, I think it was show number 1. It was because we were talking about the tour where SWV and Naughty by Nature and LL, they were all on tour together, a bunch of other folks too. And in Washington, D.C., the show didn't include like LL and Naughty by Nature, who were your big headliners on that tour. This was like SWV's first big tour. And the reason why they weren't included was because hip hop was banned in the venue where the show was happening. So those rappers, rap couldn't appear anywhere. And that was a thing where it was just like, no, it's not allowed.
So the promoters were hip to the fact that the police were watching and would come down on them if they would promote any rappers being on a show. And we have to go to the nexus. Like NWA were really the ones that called it out vocally, but they weren't even talking about the police effect on music. They were just talking about the relationship between police and our community.
Yep.
And so we got a "Fuck the Police"
Yep.
record, which I think, automatically put them on lists across the country. We saw how it played out in the movie, how it was dramatized for the movie, how the police were in the front row, lined up. They were on the side of the stage waiting. Are they going to play this song? If they play this song, we're immediately arresting them, shutting it down. And from that point, hip hop was included in the melee and has been policed since then. It even got to a point where Tipper Gore went on a rampage against rap lyrics, and now we have these huge. Well, do we still have parental advisory stickers anymore?
Yeah, they still exist, even though we don't have wide. I mean, people are still making CDs. I mean, Beyonce is about to drop Renaissance as a CD. So if you do have a physical product that is being sold in a commercial store, and it does contain explicit content, it went from explicit lyrics to explicit content. It does have to have the label. So the parental advisory sticker is still in effect if you have physical products in a store.
in the
Even
store.
selling it on your website, it don't matter. It's interesting, and I just thought of this as you mentioned NWA. Remember the insanity of Body Count's Cop Killer?
Oh my God. Yes, that was one of those things where Kurt Loder showed up on our screen. So when Kurt Loder shows up on MTV, you knew it was bad news or it was something major on MTV. And yes, the whole debacle with Ice-T and his band Body Count. What was the name of the song?
It was called Cop Killer.
Cop Killer, yeah.
Yep. It was called Cop
Plain
Killer.
and simple, Cop
Yep.
Killer, yeah.
Yep.
And that just added more fuel to the fire. We had Two Live Crew records being pulled, and what was that song they did? They did a song called
Banned in the USA.
Banned in the USA, but even more locally in Florida, in Dade County, they did a song called "Fuck Martinez" because of was he the governor at the time or district attorney, something to the effect. I can't remember. But they had a song called F Martinez. And it was really kind of just basic. The chorus literally was like F Martinez, F Martinez on a bounce beat.
Of course. We got to put the link to Mogul too, which talks about the Miami scene, but in particular Two Live Crew. That thing is so good, and it really does recount how the police or the criminal justice system was just kind of weaving itself in. And Two Live Crew ended up becoming just like this really important tipping point because of the fact that they were like, we're going to fight back and say that you can't ban us, right? And became a really important point for freedom of speech. But now we're at this interesting turning point where throughout the country there are laws on the books where lyrics can be used in some states and jurisdictions and legal proceedings to prove criminal contact. And that's different.
It is. Let's just get right to it. Right here in the wonderful state of Georgia, on May 12th, I remember waking up to the news and seeing it on Twitter. Young Thug, rapper artist Young Thug, and another rap artist, Gunna, were arrested and indicted on May 12th of this year on RICO charges. Now, when we heard RICO charges, then we knew it was serious.
It was serious. I didn't even know. I know that RICO charges is bad. I didn't know. Yeah. I was like, I don't even know what they are, but I know that you don't want them because the government, like, child, once they file a RICO charge, it's like, oh, that's like.
So just to break it down real quick, what is a RICO charge? A RICO charge, RICO stands for the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, is a United States federal law that provides for extended criminal penalties and a civil cause of action for acts performed as a part of an ongoing criminal organization. So RICO racketeering came about because of the old school mobsters, the mafia organizations. Though they fell under the RICO charges were created for them for organized crime. Well, of course, organized crime. Well, not even organized crime. Well, yeah, it is organized crime. Gangs and gang affiliation has kind of gone hand in hand with the whole rap community, and how there's a lot of affiliations between some rap artists and gang life, street life. And so, and they would come out in their music, how they would represent, in their videos, wearing the colors. And so these charges then would extend to them as well, because gang activity is not just about it's not the Beat It video. Nobody's just having a dance battle in the middle of the street. There is, there is racketeering, there is organized crime, there's, the selling of drugs, there's the pushing of weapons, all kinds of things that fall under organized crime. So, Young Thug and Gunna and a lot of other rap artists.
It was a huge crop of the YSL.
The YSL gang,
Yeah.
the YSL organization. We're not going to call them a gang.
Yeah, they're not a gang.
Yeah, they're not a gang. But they're, not just them, but according to District Attorney Fannie Willis, there are more charges coming down the pipe. So a lot of your faves could end up with some RICO charges as well. But I say all that to say that this is a culmination of a lot of things that have been building up over the years with regards to hip hop and the police and the policing of hip hop. Let me hit you with this. Lil' Kim, who had done, how long did Kim do? She did like what, 6 years?
She was away for a minute. I don't remember exactly how long, but I'm gonna look it up.
Yes. So Lil' Kim from her Dirty LP. Well, I mean, the song is Dirty, and from the LP, The Naked Truth, which, by the way, as a body of work, is an awesome album. If you have not checked out Naked Truth, it is a awesome album by Lil' Kim. And it goes, the feds pinched me for a shooting, but instead they indicted me for my fucking music. This jealous motherfucker and this prosecuting dyke bitch probably go home listening to How Many Licks. Stay away from 5-0. That's the hip hop cops. These cheese-eating rodents really got the game caught. You see, when you on top, niggas want what you got. Even though they idolize you, they still criticize you. Like, it's been, she did a year and a day. And after that, that's when the Naked Truth came out, and she was talking about why she ended up in prison over that shooting situation at the Hot 97 studios. But when she got to trial, they were trying to indict her and prosecute her over her lyrics. And that was one of the first times that we heard of something called the hip hop police.
Yes.
And so now the hip hop police, now known as the Enterprise Operations Unit, is a real thing. Started in 1996 with a New York detective by the name of Derek Parker, who was actually friends or was actually an associate with a lot of rap artists, but then began following them, especially after Pac and Biggie's murders, was following them around. Matter of fact, before there were members of the unit following Biggie to Vegas before he got shot. So it was basically an intel unit created to surveil rap artists, gather information about them, go to their shows, and the people on the top of their list were people like Jay-Z, 50 Cent, Remy Ma was on the list, of course, after her situation, and Busta Rhymes. So literally, there is a department that was created to follow to your shows, to your whatever it is that you're doing. If they're going to see you out in public, if you post something, they're literally filing every little thing away that you do, in hopes or in the nearby future that if something happens, they're going to use an appearance, they're going to use a lyric or something against a rap artist in the court of law. And it's really wild. But I'm going to be honest with you, J. Ray, like with this situation that happened here in Atlanta with the DA, Fannie Willis, part of me sees what she was talking about, because we have been under a siege of like gang activity in Atlanta. And I think it's more so not even that they're rappers, but they're rappers that have been it's kind of when you call each other slime, and it doesn't take a scientist to figure out what slime is or what the term represents, and that people throw up symbols and in their Instagram posts. A lot of times rappers are pretty much doing the work for them, especially now in the social media era. Rappers are doing a lot of the work for the hip hop cops.
Yeah, that is the craziest part of this time that's why we're in such a weird time.
So
So
weird.
I have a reaction to what you just said, but I need to go back and tell you about what I remember. I'm gonna be an old man for a minute
Hmm.
of the first time that I realized that hip hop was fake.
Mm.
So, because when I first got into hip hop and fell in love with hip hop, I talked about this often. It was like 88. By 91, hip hop was a cult. It was like exploding. This is post NWA's Niggas for Life. This is, Ice Cube's first record is dropping. This is a lot happening.
Yeah.
Well, Scarface dropped his debut solo record, Mr. Scarface is Back. And
Scarface from the Ghetto Boys, right?
Right, Scarface from the Ghetto Boys, and I was really into the Ghetto Boys, and of course Scarface like solo record. And I played Mr. Scarface is Back, and I was like, "Oh, this can't be real!" Like it's just like it was the first time that I realized, like, oh, he's just kind of telling a story because it was so ridiculous and violent and over the top that it couldn't possibly have been a thing. It was basically Scarface the film on a song.
Right.
And in my 13, 14-year-old brain, I was like, oh, I get this now. This is not a real thing that's happening. He's just rapping. Now we're in a different time where, because back then, we know now that there were people moving in the industry in a way that was dealing with some criminal activity. We know that today, but we didn't know that then. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Clout being associated with stuff that wasn't giving people clout before. Like you couldn't get clout for the stuff that people are getting clout for now because it's like, no, 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 no. You don't want to get clout for that because that will lead to prison.
Absolutely.
And now it's like, no, I could use this to make money, but it doesn't make sense because it still leads to prison. So it's a weird clout driven moment that we're in where it's like the wrong things are being raised up as things that people should aspire to.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I think the question then becomes, or the question that's being raised by a lot of critics. So we have Kevin Liles that's been down here advocating on behalf of Young Thug and Gunna and all the other rappers that could potentially fall under these RICO charges. Their whole argument is that their lyrics should not be used against them because this is art.
Right.
So that again, it's that gray area, especially when we're in the social media era, where people they don't mind flashing their guns, they don't mind flashing the money, they don't mind flashing the pills that they're riding around with on Instagram. But then the argument is, well, should that be used against me in the court of law? It's going to be.
It's going to be. And so I am definitely staunchly against lyrics being used for proceedings like this. Like, I think it's a slippery slope. I think that sometimes, I mean, in some cases, I'm sure some of the people be doing the stuff. In other cases, I'm sure they don't be doing the stuff. And it becomes this like really slippery slope of that. But what I really think is that if you doing stuff that could get you locked up, you shouldn't be writing about that in your songs. Like, you should probably be doing songs that are the opposite of that.
Give us some decoy records, like,
You know what I'm
you know,
saying? You need to be a
you
love dude. You might need to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what, do something
you and your
else.
girl at Pottery Barn, you're taking pottery classes. Rap about that stuff, because then they're not going to indict you on going to pottery classes or to a sip and paint. You know, I just it's this argument that people have been making for a long time, especially with regards to young black individuals that make it in the entertainment arena, about once you make it into the entertainment arena and you start popping, you start making money, the argument is start separating yourself from that street element that you came from. Then, of course, comes in this argument about realness and staying true to your roots. But I am a staunch believer in the whole. I believe the reason why you got into entertainment is because you wanted to get away from that element. And see, what happens is a lot of times, a lot of these artists, they they bring along those people that they used to run with in the streets to try and turn them legitimate or try to expose them to another life. And I get that. That's
Mm-hmm.
wonderful. But is it going to be to your detriment? Is that person actually going to want to become an A&R for you? Does that person really want to be legitimate security, or is it your slime that you just bringing along because they got the toolies, they got all the gats, and they can protect you while you're in the street? But not for nothing, I've heard that a lot of places where rappers go to, if you go there, you have to check in with a certain person within that city, and
You,
they talk to the streets and say, "Hey, such and such is in town. They good with me. Leave them alone. We got our folks that are going to be escorting them as well." So you're constantly,
that's
especially within
stressful.
hip hop arenas, you're constantly still in some kind of alignment with the street element. Because a lot of those people, they, no doubt, they're gangsters. They're people that are in the life, and they're really about that life. But if you're a young artist and you're still trying to have street credibility, I heard you can't go to Detroit unless you talk to the
Yeah.
guy that
Oh
Charlemagne always
yeah.
brings
Yeah.
up.
I can't remember. Oh shoot. I can't
I
remember
can't
who
think
it
of
is.
his name.
But I was thinking of
You go
Detroit
to
too. Detroit
L.A.
is, yeah, it's notorious for,
Yeah,
you gotta check in. That's stressful to me. Like, that
super
whole
stressful.
idea. One, just like the tweet from last week, I do not want to be that kind of famous. Like,
Hmm.
I want to fly under the radar. I want to do the thing that I do and not have people worry about what Jay Ray is doing. And I want to go where I want to go and not have to worry about it.
Trick Trick. His name is Trick
Trick
Trick.
Trick.
That's it.
Yes, Detroit.
Yes.
I was recently watching a clip of Tretch on My Expert Opinion, and he was talking about Tupac. And he was like, one of the things that I said to Pac was, you gotta, these are not the dudes that you need to have around you right now because of what your fame is doing. Like, you need to be, to your point, like, separating yourself from these dudes. And he was like, nah, nah. And he was like, Pac trusted those guys. But Tretch's point was, but those wasn't the guys to trust. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain people, to your point that you just made. Folks got to have discernment about people who can go with them on the journey that they are taking. You have to have discernment about the people that you keep around and move accordingly.
Hmm.
Because those people could, I mean, you could end up in a really sticky situation if you know that you are trying to move if you know you're trying to move and you're trying to grow your career, you're trying to like get out of the situation that you in, the way to get out of the situation that you in is to get out of the situation that you are in. And
Yeah.
sometimes, and I know that there is the conversation about loyalty,
Hmm.
take the people with you who are really for you. And that truly you like, no, I'm bringing you because I want you to also leave this behind. But so often that's not, the case. And I mean, that's been part of rap. The gangsta element has been part of rap since the beginning. We've talked
Hmm.
about that on the show because it was the drug dealers that had the money. The rappers ain't had the money. It's
Yeah.
just now that in the last 20 years that the rappers are the people with the money, right? You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Last 30 years, rather, with the people with the money. That wasn't always the case. So the street element has always been a part of hip hop since its inception. And I think the conversation that we need to have as a culture is how do we keep our brothers like safe and moving in a way that doesn't put them in the crosshairs of the criminal justice system, or worse,
Right.
dead. We
Right.
have to have that conversation because we have moved so. I have got into the loop, Sir Daniel, of the Chicago,
Mm.
that whole thing. So many of those young men are dead.
It's like every other week somebody is passing away. I think recently there was a rapper in Tampa, Florida,
Yeah.
who got on his live or whatever,
And
and
said, come and
literally,
see me here. And
come see me, and they came and saw him, and he's dead now. It's like it's a lot.
no,
It's a lot.
no, that is not it, y'all. It ain't it.
So where is the artistry? When are we getting back to the artistry part? Like, I'm thinking about before May 12th. I think I had recently saw Gunna was a special guest on Saturday Night Live. He had Young Thug on stage with him at Saturday Night Live. I'm like, wow, you went from one moment performing on stage on one of the biggest nights of in American, American folklore, Saturday Night Live, huge show. You're performing there, and now you're performing on somebody's Zoom because you can't. All your trials, all your court appearances are on Zoom now because you're locked up in a county jail, awaiting numerous charges because of affiliations with people, because of, you know uh, people have been following you for years, and notating, documenting your affiliation with different organizations. you know is it worth it? Is it, and God knows I'm not sitting in judgment of anybody,
Mm-mm.
because we don't know what it takes. I'm a suburban kid. We don't know what it takes to have survived, or what it takes to make it in this industry, especially if a lot of rappers are targets these days
Right.
of home invasions and this and that. And so a lot of times, in order to stay protected, you got to keep the goons from the hood
Right.
in your circle to keep you safe. So it's like, what is the crux of the problem? Where how can hip hop go back to being about, having fun, about dancing, and about, all the things that it used to be? Or is there just no turning back now? Is it just this, as they called it back in the day, CNN on wax? Is it just about street life and street knowledge? And is that the direction that we have to keep moving on in? Or, what are we to do? Because pretty soon, truth be told, Fannie Willis said that, oh, there's about to be a whole lot more charges going out. There's about to be another roundup coming. You don't know when. She's like, Beyonce, y'all don't know when I'm about to drop, but I'm about to drop. These people are about to be wrangled in here under these RICO charges. Just wait and see.
Man, I don't know. I'm really curious to know what y'all what folks who are listening or watching think. I I don't want to see brothers in jail. I
No.
don't want to see brothers dead. At the same time, I also don't want to see our communities decimated. And I
Yeah.
don't want to see folks living in fear. So I think both things can be true. I think all of the things that I described can be true. We can make sure that brothers are safe, that our communities aren't living in fear, that people are able to be successful, and that they, are staying out of the crosshairs of the criminal justice system. But I do think it's complicated, especially with the way we have been rewarding, because there was just certain things that you couldn't do before.
Yeah.
There's just certain things you just couldn't do. Like you couldn't do it and really be doing it. Like you just couldn't do it and really be doing it before somebody would say, nah, don't do that for a lot of reasons, right? I think, yeah, we need standards. That's what I think. We need to return to having some level of standards for the culture.
Facts. I agree. And because not for nothing, I think like the reason why the hip hop police, these intel units were created was because at the basis of it all is there's this disbelief of how much money is being made and circulated throughout the hip hop community. There's this disbelief like there's no way that y'all could be making this much money just off of music. There's no way, and it stems from jealousy, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way that you should be flourishing like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm a public servant and I'm only getting 50K a year
Mm-hmm.
in benefits, and I'm risking my life out here.
Mm-hmm.
But you get to pop champagne in your videos, something's wrong. So I'm gonna keep watch on you so I can trip you up. A lot of that stems from jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
So there's certain things that we are they're gonna keep us under a microscope anyway, because you're talking about black people
Mm-hmm.
creating wealth and not afraid to flash it and possibly getting other people out of poverty,
Mm-hmm.
is a part of a grand scheme, a larger grand scheme that we are still under. So I don't know. It's a tricky situation. It's a very tricky situation. I'm like you. I don't want to see people locked up, but it's like y'all, come on. We gotta at least try and act like we know what's going on and
Just
do better.
do better. When you know better, do better. I think if
Yeah.
there are folks if there are MCs who are watching this Young Thug and Gunna situation, learn from it. Learn from this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
cause you are not like it'll happen to you too. It will. Like the ones that have ascended to the levels that they've ascended to, that the people that you are looking up to, the for real people that you're looking up to, made the hard sacrifices that you have to be willing to make too.
Yeah.
They
Wow.
they did it. That's why they're able to do what they're doing, because there's just certain things that you have to do. And so if you are like, I want to ascend to the level of an X person, you got to do what they did. And they had to have this conversation too.
Mm. Y'all make some better choices. But this has been, as always, we come with the conversation.
Yeah,
It
man.
had to be said. It had to be talked about.
Absolutely. So listen, y'all, make sure that you subscribe to Q Points. If you have enjoyed the show, you can leave us a tip. We will have that link in the description for you. If you have gone ahead and you're like, oh my God, I really love them and I want to support them, become a Q Points Insider and you can have access to all of our video archives as well as our exclusive content and everything else. It's really, really cool. Make sure that you subscribe on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on Podchaser, on Google, anywhere where you listen to podcasts. Q Points is there. And please, if you can, leave us a star rating. We've been really getting into Good Pods lately because if you listen to our show on Good Pods, other people can see that you're listening to our show on Good Pods, and you could just like leave a review, and it's dope. It's another cool way to discover the show. And last but not least, before we do that, subscribe on YouTube. Our YouTube been popping. You want to subscribe on YouTube to stay up with us because our YouTube has been doing a thing over there. So make sure you do that. And also make sure that you follow this man, Sir Daniel, on Mixcloud and follow them mixes because they dope.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Yes, check up read those blogs. Our blogs are entertaining. I'm telling you, and you'll learn something. So I'm proud of us. I'm proud of what we've been doing. We've been really putting in the work. J Ray, this has been an excellent show. But you know what I always say? I tell the kids, listen, in this life, you have a choice. You can either pick up the needle or you could let the record play. Again, I'm DJ Sir Daniel.
I'm J Ray, y'all.
This has been Q Points. We'll see you next time.